Seriousness and children should be left at the door. Very little of what our hosts are about to say is factual, but will be crass. This is Till Death Do Us Nard.
I used to count down the years until I grew up, but now I'm dying in my 20s, feeling like I'm giving up. And now all of my fake ass friends think that they're cool because they're posting fat stacks and they're drinking by the pool. No, no, not me, not a fan of that disease, cause I'm an introvert and I got somewhere else to be. But oh no, not me, not afraid of that disease. I got a six-pack and I'm watching screen TV. So fuck you, fuck me. Save all the animals living in the same. I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling lame. I'm getting drunk and watching anime.
I mean, that's fair, but it's funny. Okay, so circling back around, as is tradition, Alyssa, since you want to say things and be funny,
go ahead and make
for
us the
free, just
money.
like you said
Say
right
something
now.
about Suigetsu, little clown.
You know what? What's
Say something funny. Dance for us.
yeah? Say what? Yeah, say it. Tell us a Suigetsu fact.
I enjoy that he is the biggest pain in ass
Absolutely correct.
ever.
Now, you know, we're treading on spooky territory right
Mhm.
now, because if we're gonna consistently bring up, you know, we're we're gonna suddenly lose a lot of content as usual. However, you're right.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. As in most instances in which he appears in Naruto, you can remove conversation and almost nothing changes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely correct.
yeah.
Forgive me, I was so wrong.
yeah. Fool that you are.
Fool that I am.
We've been avoiding it now for several weeks. We can get around it.
Because, like,
So,
doesn't he kind of canonically hate? Like, he thinks sucks, like, a lot.
oh, he does, and he's right. Because Suigetsu was teamed up with our good boy Jigo, and Karin, who's just absolute bitch. Love her to death. I would die for her. She would not do the same for me, and I respect that. So he had his little team. And then Mr. Sad Pants rolls up, and he's like, well, I guess we're doing this then.
Hey,
And Team Taka was like,
I mean, I guess.
Alright.
Alright, I guess.
We're not getting paid this time either, are we? And like, haha, no, I don't have any money or a job.
Because, like, you know, because here's the thing. Imagine you're Suigetsu. I don't remember enough about this part of Naruto to really tell you a whole lot about, like, how Suigetsu gets in. But it's like, he goes goes to Orochimaru's basement and gets him out of a fucking tank. And is like, hey, you work for me now.
Yeah.
And Suigetsu is like, you got any fucking games on your phone? I guess.
You got any games on your phone? And he goes, no. And so I guess he goes, what else you
What
got?
else you got?
You got any
You got any stamps? What else you got?
So, because I know a little bit about Suigetsu, because I love him very much. And he and his brother, Mangetsu, who is dead, they were like little dream team boys. And I do know that they were like, oh man, these brothers are so cool. They're gonna be the spiritual successor to Zabuza. Even though Zabuza was like still alive when they were alive, but whatever. It was symbolic.
No, Zabuza didn't last that long.
Zabuza was still alive when Naruto was alive because they fought each other. It was the first big shit that happened in Naruto.
Zabuza doesn't
So I mean,
last that
it's
long in the show.
because Suigetsu
is around Naruto's
is sometimes described is around Naruto's age, and he's described as being an incarnation of the same incarnation that Zabuza is. It's a whole thing. The point is,
that's
he eventually has
Zabuza's
Zabuza's he eventually has Zabuza's sword, and it's a whole big thing. It's important. But we're not here to talk about important things. we're here to talk about the fact that Zabuza, after his brother died, I think actually at that point made the conscious choice to be the biggest pain in the ass to everyone he meets that he can possibly be. And I respect that. Because when his brother died, he was like, well, I can't remember what we were doing before, but now, fuck getting one sword. I'm gonna take all 7, and then I'm gonna start my own club.
And you know what? I feel like that's actually really good plan, dude. He has more of a plan than most people in Naruto, if we're really being honest.
Here's the thing. We don't give Suigetsu enough credit for the fact that at least he had a plan.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
He had a plan, he had ideas, and, like, honestly, those ideas were realistic. Have you seen the state of organization in the Hidden Mist Village? Nobody knows where all those damn swords are. He could probably just go and find it on the ground. You know, like he did with Zabuza's sword in the fucking comics.
Yeah. I was about to say, isn't that actually how he got Zabuza's
Yeah, he found it on Zabuza's grave. In the anime, there's like a whole arc where he has to steal it back from somebody or whatever. But in the manga, he just picks it up off Zabuza's grave because it's just been laying there.
He's like, y'all left it outside? Like where there's birds?
There's birds? You know, because birds are like the greatest danger to swords you can find.
Their poop is fucking corrosive.
Yeah, I honestly...
It's bad for weapons.
Swords and cars are a lot alike in that way. My other car is a sword. You know, I tell people that all the time.
Zabuza rolls up... Sorry, Suigetsu rolls up in Zabuza's old Jeep Grand Cherokee with 7 letter openers in his hand, and he's like, get in, we're starting a drama club.
Fuck yeah, we are! Fuck yeah, we are.
No, that's Jugo's response.
Yeah, Jugo has to... Jugo is, like, the only other member in the drama club, and, like, it's the only reason Suigetsu can have a drama club, because there's at least one other person there.
Jugo just supports his boy, and...
Yeah. Jugo's his buddy, so he comes along for the shenanigans. I can't remember if they take Karin because she wants to go, or Karin's like, I hate you, you're gonna die, you're stupid, but I hate Orochimaru a little bit more, so count me in. I feel like it's the latter.
Yeah, I feel like it's the latter.
Doesn't Karin have, like, a big old crush on somebody?
She does. Yeah, she does. And sadly, you know, because Kishimoto can't write women who are inherently motivated by men, that is sadly her motivation. But also Karin has other things going on, but honestly, I would rather give Karin her own little episode, because I have a lot to say on her.
Oh yeah. She will get one.
Absolutely. She's our next episode.
She's great. I can't wait to talk about Karin, because she's a lot of fun. I have a Suigetsu fact. It's technically 2, but it makes me really happy. Can I share it? Suigetsu. Okay, so, as we know, Suigetsu has a funky little body, that he can reshape at will. It's a lot like water.
I too have a funky little body.
Are we not all, you know, just people who possess funky little bodies?
Who doesn't have a funky little body?
And he can reshape it at will. He's kind of like, he seems to, it's very dependent on water. He's a little water boy. But the consequence of this body is apparently when he is unconscious, he reverts into like a jelly-like state.
Now, unconscious as in punched lights out, like injured unconscious, or like every time he goes to sleep, it has to be in a bucket?
Now, I am left to assume that it is like lights out injured unconscious. But with what I know about the human body, there is really little difference between that and being unconscious when you are asleep. So I think he has to sleep in a bucket.
Exactly.
Do we see him sleep in a bed?
So Suigetsu sleeps in a bucket. I don't think we do. And you know what? When we first meet Suigetsu, what is he in?
He's in a tank.
So
little tank boy.
All I'm saying is that if this were Sky High, he would be the kid who can melt at will. You know?
He's like that kid, but like better. And here's the thing. This ties into another important fact about him that I promise is relevant. Do you know what his favorite foods are?
Isn't
It's
Jello
and
or
jellies.
yogurt.
Jellies and
It is
jams.
jellies and jams and yogurts in quotation, preferably
my jellies.
anything drinkable.
My jellies. My jam.
He's Jello. He loves
Oh my
Jello.
God.
He loves yogurt.
Oh my
Little
god.
smoothie boy.
He's that person that you knew in college that literally made a smoothie at 5 a.m. every day in your dorm room.
Suigetsu, if he like lived in the same dorm as you, he'd like, because you share it.
He has like 4 hydro
Yeah.
flasks on his person
He
at
has
all
no.
times.
He has a.
That is actually canon. He has 2 massive like Starbucks venti cups on him at all time. It is in the
Yeah,
official
it's
art.
in his character design.
He has to stay hydrated or he will just turn
He
to
has a
dust.
fucking.
He has one of those cup hats.
Yes, he has one of those cup hats. He has a fucking. He's a fucking camelback. He's one of those people. He's so well hydrated.
Now, what I like to imagine is all of these hydration situations are happening at
Yeah,
once.
he needs them. He literally needs them or he will die.
Tactical
He's
equipment.
tactically hydrated.
Tactically hydrated.
But here's the thing. In the scenario that you have to share a dorm room with Suigetsu, it's like probably the situation where like you are in the same room as him, but you share like a bathroom with him, and like he's kind of never got clothes on.
Where the water lives.
Kind of like not in like a weird like sexual way, but he never has any fucking clothes on, and has no boundaries. And like you'll try to walk in to like brush your teeth, and he'll be hanging out like ass out in the bathroom, just kind of like chilling there, and he'll be like, "Hey, you ever tried kombucha?" And you can't escape him. He's not unpleasant, but you don't want to be around him.
You ever try kombucha and you're like, yeah, I don't really like it. He's like, okay, well, do you know how it can support your digestive health?
Because he's like,
And you're
dude,
like,
I share a bathroom with you.
You're
I
like,
know.
no. You're like, no, Suigetsu, I don't know about that, but thank you. And he's like, okay. Also, have you been using my protein powder? I'm like, no, Suigetsu, you're the only one in this house who makes smoothies. He's like, that's fine.
That's fine, I guess.
Anyways, the protein powder on top of the fridge, that's not whey protein, that's cocaine. Please don't touch it. And then he leaves. Because
that's cocaine.
While I will say that he's the type of person that would look at you about to tuck into a nice little mango flavored White Claw and enjoy yourself a nice evening, he would look at you and say, you know, that dehydrates you, right? And then he'd snort a line of coke off of your science textbook.
Yeah, absolutely. He's surviving on cocaine and smoothies alone. Like, he's that kind of person.
Yeah.
He's hydrated, but he's not healthy.
Like, he's hydrated. There's a difference between hydration and health. You're absolutely right. And it's important that we note that this episode.
I have given a fact. Alyssa's given a fact. Alina, do you have a fact?
So my fact about Suigetsu, aside from the cocaine, because really that should, while it is a fact, I don't think that it's new information for anybody. I think that, so we had that, just to recap, we had that he's the largest asshole possible on purpose to as many people as possible on purpose. And we also had that he can turn into goo at will.
Goo boy.
Little goo boy.
Goo boy.
What I enjoy about Mr. Suigetsu is that, sorry, I'm trying to kind of like formulate my words here because there's so much.
There's so much about him that I just love and treasure.
There's very much about him. I think mine is kind of sword adjacent, because we've talked a little bit about the swords, but I think that it's important that, like, we really kind of hone in on how buck shit wild this little bitch is about swords. To the extent that not only is he obsessed with specifically Zabuza's sword, which is why he found slash picked it up out of his grave, but he's obsessed with all of the Seven Swordsmen's swords, and on several occasions has either gotten his grubby little pizza hands on one, or come across other swordsmen using them. And what's a little bit scary about him is that he can just, like, use all of them. Even if they're not, like, legendary swords, he can just pick up someone else's fucking blade and use it like he's been using it for years. And I think that that's honestly kind of terrifying, but I don't think I'm that surprised about it.
Because here's the thing. He's just kind of, you know, those really talented people that you meet in high school who, like, aren't doing great in their classes, but, like, okay, maybe I just knew a lot of these kind of people. I can't say names. I won't give this person's full name because you've heard me talk about them before. There is this guy I knew in high school who, admittedly, now that I think about it, reminds me a lot of Suigetsu. And one time after summer break, we're having like it was like a little like what is it? Assembly. We were having an assembly, and we were all sitting in the cafeteria, and he comes, and like I haven't seen him in like 4 months because I really didn't see a lot of people over summer vacation. And he comes and sits down next to me. He's like, "Hey, Sarah, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey, so-and-so, how are you?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm pretty good." He's like, "What'd you do over your vacation?" You know, I talked about, like, going to the beach and, like, normal things. Like, "Oh, I read these books," and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "Haha, yeah, that's really cool. I broke 3 ribs and punctured my lung and almost died. It was really cool."
Yeah, no, that's for sure Suigetsu. Absolutely.
Yeah, like...
He'd come back first day after summer vacation and tell you about how he got hit by a car.
Yeah, he was like, but it was fine.
And spent 2 months in a neck brace, and then he'll be like, "Do you want to see the cool drill holes from my forehead? from the full neck brace that I got put at, like, the full head cast?" And you're like, "Dude, should you be here? Those look kind of fresh." And he'll just say, "Yeah, no, I'm on, like, a lot of cocaine."
He's like,
"Don't worry about it.
A lot of cocaine is fine, though."
He's like, "I've also really gotten into smoothies." I've been adding a lot of kale supplements to my diet, and I've been feeling great.
Ew, kale?
Yeah, kale.
Kale.
People put that in
kale
stuff.
in smoothies.
It's
yeah,
green.
It's green. You ever had kale?
Alyssa, I've literally seen your mother add kale to a smoothie before. I am 100% sure.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I've seen somebody's mother do it.
It wasn't
I don't think
mine.
Alyssa's mom would.
Well,
my mom hasn't. I haven't.
It was somebody's grandmother.
It wasn't my...
No last names, but her name was Helga, and she put kale in a smoothie once. It tasted fine.
Yeah, you can put it in there. It's good for like some fiber and protein. You gotta
There's
cover,
iron in it.
there's iron in it. You gotta cover the flavor up with some other stuff, but as long as it's raw, it kind of doesn't taste like a whole lot. It's like a hearty green.
Yeah, it's fine. Honestly, like, there's vitamins and stuff in it, but the most significant thing that it does to change anything about it is it makes it green. We need to stop talking about this because now we sound like Suigetsu trying to justify his smoothie choices, and
I think I kind of want to, like, engage in this intensive, Suigetsu engages you in smoothie talk ASMR roleplay.
Oh my god, you're right.
So, I'm sorry, I just keep thinking about Suigetsu. I think he's really funny. Now, whenever I Google Suigetsu, I think my favorite set of images of him that pop up are the ones where he has, like, one normal-sized arm and one arm that is just huge for no reason. Like, it's just massive, and it looks like one of those memes.
Now, remind me why that happened.
Because he can reshape his body, and so he can make his limbs bigger. I'm gonna send you an image that actually struck me in the face. It is a picture of Suigetsu in the old meme format, like 2000s, early 00s.
Like the old
inspirational pose.
Yeah.
And it's
now I see what you've sent me. First of all, I would like to thank you. Second of all, I would like to take that back and say that I hate it.
Because I looked at it and then like the image opens and it's like that little black like frame and his huge arm and his one normal sized arm and then just like all white text, normal like font size Fapper, and I don't like it.
I don't like it. First of all, that's insulting to him. That's his business. And that's his sword arm.
Alina, right? I'm sorry, that's not the hand he's holding the sword in.
It's to counterbalance the weight, Sarah.
Oh, sorry, that's his arm that turns into.
Does his arm just look like that all the time?
Sword?
No,
the sword is like as big as he is. Zabuza's sword is as big as Suigetsu is. He needs a giant meaty arm on the other side to balance out the weight that his tiny little man arm is holding.
Oh my god, sorry. These memes aren't actually that, like, that genre of Suigetsu meme is so common, and it's been common since, like, back in the day. And here's the thing, they are vaguely funny, but, like, they're only funny due to the sheer, like, shock value of it, because otherwise, a picture of a dude that just looks like that is already kind of funny. Like, here's the thing, if I was Suigetsu and I had that ability, I would just make myself look super fucked up all the time and make people, like, try to have a normal conversation with me. Because you know that's what he does. Like, he'll be talking to you, like, mid-sentence, and then suddenly he just makes, like, his titties massive for no reason. He's like, what are you looking at, fucker? My eyes are up here. And Jugo's like, Suigetsu.
My eyes are up here.
Jugo's like, Suigetsu,
and you look up at his face and he's doing the, like, melting hair thing. You're like, stop doing that.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Stop doing
that. I don't know what
that.
you're talking about. What do you mean? And he's like, no, describe it to me. I want to know. And you're like, no! I'm trying to eat my cornflakes! Go the fuck away!
It's like, I'm trying to eat my cornflakes. Also, stop sitting on my side of the couch. Every time you sit on my side of the couch, it gets damp.
Yeah.
There's a whole side of the couch covered in towels all the time just for you. Sit on that side. It's like letting in a soggy dog out of the rain all the time whenever he sits on your furniture.
Yeah, exactly.
You just gotta lay towels down or he's gonna ruin it.
Like,
mold's gonna start to grow. It's just damp all the time.
He's just a little goopy boy. And, like, he kind of can't help it. And, like, that's fair.
Hey, listen, he kind of can't help it, but also, if there was ever a second when he could, he wouldn't.
Oh, absolutely not. You know that, like, Jugo and him live together, right? I always imagine him and Jugo living together. Yeah. You know Jugo has, like, all of the furniture covered in plastic like a little grandma, right?
Oh my god, he does. Now, an excellent mental image is Suigetsu sitting on the plastic couch. Of course it makes the loud plastic couch fart noise, as we all know. And then he does proceed to just jillify and sloof off of it.
Yeah, he does that every Saturday night for extended periods of time. That's his Saturday night, is that he just gooshes off the couch.
Yeah. And I will say that, Jugo does watch this happen, as he, proceeds to, drink roughly 4 beers in a row, because, what the fuck else are you gonna do?
He has to live with...
You work with...
live with Suigetsu. You have to cope.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The drunker you get, it absolutely gets more funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
So while he's rather stoic, about an hour in, Jugo is about to have a fucking conniption, is like rolling on the ground laughing, as Suigetsu gently sloughs off the couch for the 800th time in a row.
Yeah, he's just like, woo, watch this one, boys. And they're like, yeah! Sorry, I have to go. Oh, God. Hey, Alyssa, you got another fact for us?
Or just a comment. General sentiments. Thoughts about our boy.
I keep thinking about Sarah's comment about Kisame's teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, he's also got the
little sharp teeth.
He does.
He's got little sharpie teeth.
He does.
He does. You know, those seem to... Well, okay, we talked about the Seven Swordsmen of the mist for a while, I believe in the Kisame episode. And, like, they do all have the little sharky teeth. He has them, his brother had them. And, like, I'm really, this is just me talking for 2 seconds about Naruto lore, and it's gonna get really boring if I don't shut the fuck up soon. So, I'm always wondering, like, how, I always kind of wonder, like, what the fuck is going on in the water there. And, like, back in the day, like, I've been into Naruto for a long time. I remember the many, many, many meme pages from back in the day. And, like, a lot of people just assumed Kisame was Suigetsu's dad for a long time when Suigetsu was first introduced, because they're like, oh yeah, they both have the teeth. Because people usually don't really, like, pay much attention to Zabuza's teeth.
Here's the thing. That's a fun little thought, but also, you're right, literally all of the swordsmen have teeth like that.
Well, at the time we didn't know.
I will say...
At the time that information was, like, completely, like, void. And then we're, like, all found out, oh, they all have the teeth. And we're like, well, fuck, I guess they're all just fucked up looking.
And then Kisame and Suigetsu both have a lot of freaking fishy themes going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They do. But
are we sure that Kisame isn't Suigetsu's father?
Here's the thing.
We have to deep dive into this.
I refuse to believe that, first of all, they are not actually that far apart in age.
Yeah, Kisame's a little young.
Kisame is, like, 35, so yeah, he would be, like, a little young to be the parent of, like, a 17-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not far enough apart for it to, like, have been a normal thing that Suigetsu could have possibly been Kisame's son. Also, I refuse to believe that if Kisame had a kid, it would not look more like a shark.
Yeah.
Than Suigetsu
it would look...
Now that's another thing. Are we looking at shark years or human years?
Oh... What? Hey, wait. No, wait. No, she's got a point. She's got a point. I'm searching the web. Google. Computer. How long does
conversion rate?
How long do sharks live? Did you just ask me how long? How did you? Guys, I know why I know why Kisame died when he did. The shark lifespan.
Oh my God.
The shark lifespan is only 20 to 30 years. He was pushing it.
Oh my God. What I love about this is that it implies that when Kisame passes away, by having his own sharks eat him because he refuses to die by the hand of an enemy, that is in fact just, well, it's been a good run. Time to die of old age.
Okay, no, here's the thing. Just so people don't, like, at me on Twitter, there are many varieties of shark that can live longer than this.
Like the Greenland shark, and there's one, and she's like 800 years old, and we don't know how, and I'm very scared of her, but I'm glad that she's doing well.
So we actually don't, because we...
How do we know she's that old?
I don't know if it's 800. It's
she's
several
like
hundred years old, though.
But she might be like 800.
She's wildly, wildly old, and I'm very scared that they can live that long. But it is because while they are very large, they are also in cold water, and a lot of time things that live in colder water that are not mammals, because their metabolisms have to move so fucking slow, they can live a lot longer than you would expect them to, and it's kind of freaky.
The human body really isn't designed well.
Yeah, no,
we're breathing in carbon like it's nothing. We're essentially just like, listen, live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. That's the human anthem, baby.
Apparently.
So, like, but here's the thing. Do you think, like, when Kisame was, like, when he reached the point of... I know we're getting off the topic of Suigetsu, but I feel like this is related to him. Do you think when Kisame got to, like, the age where he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die one day, I'm a shark, I wonder how long I can live, and, like, he went and Googled it.
He got on Naruto Google, which, as we mentioned in the Jiraiya episode, is just one Yamanaka powering the internet.
Yeah. It was like, how long sharks live?
And now, listen, how long sharks live, and the Yamanaka emailed him back like, how old are you, buddy? And Kisame's like, I'm 15. And the Yamanaka's like, have you thought about life? Have you made plans for funeral arrangements?
35. He's like, man, I'm really pushing it. Like, and he would constantly tell Itachi, like, you know, Itachi, like, I'm really pushing it. I never thought I'd live
He's
this
like,
long. It's
man,
fucked up.
Itachi, when I go, and Itachi's like, you're like 35, dude, and he's like, every day is a gift, Itachi, and Itachi's like, okay.
He would consistently ask for, like, a senior discount.
Itachi's like, I'm 19 and I'm so stressed.
He would constantly ask for a senior discount at restaurants they went to together. And then when they ask him, they're like, oh, well, you look so young. How old are you? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm like 35. And Itachi's like actively hiding his face. And they're like, well, sir, if you're 35, you have to be about 65 to qualify for a senior discount. And he's like, oh, no. In shark years. In shark years.
He's like, look at me. Do you think I will make it to 65? Give me my free donut.
I mean, when a guy that looks like that tells you that, I mean, you're gonna give him a free donut, so...
If Kisame looked me in the eye and said, I don't have long left, I don't think I would know what to do.
I think I would break down crying. Yeah. We talked about Kisame for a hot minute. We got to get back. We got to get back on the right road here.
Yeah.
I think we can start wrapping
I think we can actually.
Actually, we've done a very good little speedy job of it this week, but so the things that we've learned about Suigetsu to kind of go through it are one, he's irritating on purpose, and that is an art form that many people in both real life and in Naruto have attempted to do but cannot pull off. Naruto, bless his heart, I love him. He is like a son to me. He's irritating, but on accident. And that's fine. Many people are, and I love them for it. Shut up. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to get you. I love you. But now and then, see, and sorry to give you another bleep, he is irritating on purpose, but he does not pull it off. Suigetsu, he is irritating not only by nature, but on purpose. He has honed his craft, and he has mastered it. He has also mastered the use of jellification, which I believe is a word that doesn't have any other meanings other than becoming jelly. Because, you know, if you are what you eat...
He's Jello.
Then he's surely Jello.
He's just Jello, bro.
He's the culmination of Instagram ASMR slime culture. And he commits to the moist in every part of his life, from his diet to his lifestyle. And I think that that's a level of commitment that many of us have never been able to reach in our lives, to decide this is what I'm going to do and then commit to it wholeheartedly and in every aspect of your life. Furthermore, we have learned that he's mastered the art of irritation. He's mastered the art of swordsmanship. He's mastered the art of being goo, and he's mastered the art of swordsmanship. And
I think he'd appreciate
I
think he'd appreciate that you said swordsmanship twice.
Yeah, listen.
Fuck yeah.
That's how important
it's important.
It is to him.
No, you're right.
Yeah, and I think boiling him down to these three components: irritating, goo, and swords, it really sort of encompasses the finer attributes of his personality. But within that, you also see that Suigetsu, so much like the bucket that he must sleep in, because every time he becomes unconscious, he turns to jelly.
I mean, me too. Me too. Me too. Fuck.
Is much deeper than you think at first glance. And that's what we should remind ourselves every day. Unknown depths, people.
Unknown depths.
Get to know those irritating Hydro Flask people that you meet in college.
Or don't, because they might
might
offer you a lot of cocaine.
Or don't, because maybe your lives don't align with each other very well.
They don't, but
and maybe he's just an assigned roommate, and you don't have to get along for more than a year.
But personally, I think okay, I'm sorry, I was about to give you a lie. I would not give Suigetsu a chance. He's an annoying little bastard. I love him. I would only, tolerate him were he, my cousin or something.
I think that the final lesson that we can draw from today is sometimes it's best to enjoy people from afar.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Fair.
Also, Soul Eater Evans. He looks like a little Soul Eater Evans, and I think that inspires. He inspires the Soul Eater.
Yeah, he does.
He inspires the love Soul Evans instinct. I would love to also have a weird Soul Eater crossover episode at some point, but we got a lot of Naruto to cover.
We got a lot of Naruto to cover. Speaking of a lot of Naruto to cover,
finish with Naruto.
Speaking of a lot of Naruto to cover, next week we will be covering Miss Karin, who has several things to know about her.
We certainly know things about Karin.
We certainly know things about Karin, and we'll be coming at them with you next time. This has been Till Death Do Us Part. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Till Death Do Us Part is a 103 Ghouls production podcast. It is created and produced by 3 women who are completely off their rocks. Theme song is Drunk Punch Man by Bullmoose. Find it and other songs by Bullmoose on Spotify, iTunes, and Bandcamp. To support the show, consider donating to our Patreon, which can be found in the show notes. If you can't, believe me, we understand. Please consider subscribing to us on YouTube, sharing the link to the show, and above all, talking us up on social media. We really appreciate the support. Oh, and one more thing. Thanks for listening.